Bonjour, hello everyone. I'm Nata, host of the Nata PR School podcast. You're a successful entrepreneur or marketing manager and you're about to launch a new product or service, or you've been selling your goods for quite some time, but you want to learn how to increase your visibility, get known, and reach more clients? At Nata PR, we deal with real clients every day and we'll teach you simple, fun, and honest PR solutions. You'll learn easy steps to combine PR to social media right now. Keep listening and let's get started. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to this 43rd episode of the Nata PR School podcast. PR and marketing laws, rule number 5, the law of perception. I can't believe it's already the 43rd episode. It's insane. Time flies. But so much fun. I'm still having so much fun doing this. I hope you love the content that I'm proposing. So shout out, let me know. So PR and marketing laws, rule number 5. Today we talk about perception, which is a crucial law. Why? Because we tend to believe that the best sales come from the best products. We believe that it's the best products that always win. Nothing can be so not true, right? Many great marketing managers indeed spend so much time making sure their product is the best so that they have all the components and when they want to promote it and build a campaign around it. Because then they need to confirm they're the best on the market. Seems like they have the right method and they're doing the right steps. But, it's because they forgot about this law of perception. Let me give you an example. Do you remember the famous VHS videotapes that were so popular in the 80s and the 90s? And remember the beta format, the BETAMAX, that was clearly superior in terms of image quality. And I remember in those years when TV stations wanted to talk about one of our clients and they required some images, we had to give them not VHS cassette, but a beta format because the quality was so much better. What happened? VHS won out. Why? And they were claiming more than 60% of the market was a huge success. So the issue revolved around two major manufacturers. If you remember, Sony was the one that was releasing and was counting on the beta quality. They were sure that was going to be the format that the consumer will adopt. But it's Matsushita that launched the VHS because it could record more than an hour of content. Wasn't BETAMAX that one, it's VHS that one. And I wanted to talk today about something that's happening at the agency closer to home, the same kind of battles that are being waged by local micro distilleries. I don't know if it's the same thing in your market, but in North America, micro distilleries are just booming. They're growing like mushrooms. And since the pandemic, they're everywhere. So each of them is trying to ride the buy local wave. Why? Because this is what's happening. I love this trend, actually, the local trend. I call it the most international trend is the local trend. Every country is promoting their local products, which makes complete sense. So these new companies, so each of them is trying to put their products forward, get, sales and have become in the perception. So they play on the rule number 5, the perception of the client. So these companies often know how to play the consumer perceptions and rule, right? So they use techniques that are sometimes as old as the hills, but still super effective. Let me just name a few. The first one they use is they hire a celebrity who can rep for the brand. Sometimes the celebrity becomes a partner of them. And so they use this personality to promote the spirits, which sometimes is not even locally distilled. Or number 2, they play with words and new names such as bottle locally. Bottle locally doesn't mean it's made there, right? So you can use a rum from from Russia and bottle it in the US with some other ingredients. It has nothing local, but it is bottled locally. You see what I mean? They play on the perception. The third rule they use sometimes is they copy recipes. Well, let's say they are inspired by other recipes, other competitors, and they try to do the same thing and appropriate that local touch. Or number 4, some of them have deep pockets and they invest heavily in ad campaigns. And while those smallest artisans that are really making something amazing and locally lack the same resources. So these companies are all relying on the law of perception. That's what they do. They try to get people to believe that their product is local. And, when you see what's happening in this market in North America right now, it's easy to understand how consumers might be confused and might believe otherwise by, this is what some of the, let's say, qualification appellations that are used in North America. So bottled in the country, manufactured in the country, locally sourced. Wow. So tell me which one is the most local in those 3? Not easy to see and understand, right? So as the proverb goes, I'm sure you've heard it before, perception is reality. In other words, we believe what we perceive to be accurate, and we create from that our own realities. It's always based on our perceptions. And although our perceptions feel very real sometimes, that doesn't mean they are based on facts. Doesn't mean they are factual. And this is why PR and marketing, we have to be really aware of this perception, the law of perception. To illustrate this law as it applies to public relations, sometimes because our clients read in the news that several traditional media have closed their doors, or, they read that they have financial difficulties. Many of our clients think that PR is old school. However, nothing could be further from the truth, especially if you've listened to this podcast for a few episodes. You know that what we're doing is really amazing today. So we can change this perception when we're talking with a client, showing them our online results, for example. But you can see that this perception can really affect our business. This is also really what drives me when I'm doing the Nata PR school and when I'm building my training, because we think it's a super powerful tool today. So I love to reinvent PR in clients' mind one at a time. As you can see, perception is an illusion that isn't based on facts or reality. So the battle isn't being waged over who has the best product. In the world of PR and marketing, everything plays out with perceptions and message you succeed in spreading. Obviously, it's way easier for us at the agency to talk about a product when we believe in the quality of it, when we know what's the quality behind it and the work behind it. But it is true that we're very familiar with this perception and these perceptions, and we have to tell our client about it. So a few years ago, when the web was really spreading out and becoming more and more, taking more space in all our lives, many of our competitors promoted themselves by saying, hey, we are a young PR agency with a young team. So the implication was we're digital natives and we know everything about the web because we were born with it. As you can imagine, nothing was further from the truth. But you see how it plays under perceptions. The law number 5, the law of perception. I make fun of my partner with this law because our clients tend to see my partner, David Tremblay, who's a young, he is in his early 30s, really young. And he sees him as the one who knows everything about the online marketing and PR, way more than myself, even if it's not true, because he's young. And since we know we're not going to change this perception easily, I tell David all the time that he has to enroll, and he does it. Like he takes all these trainings. So he has to enroll in cutting edge digital training. Sometimes takes a lot of his time, and they're not so easy, all of them. So he has to do that so he can truly, really for real acquire this knowledge. So you understand that the only reality you can be sure of is your perception of the world. The universe exists. Why? Because you have a perception of the universe in your own mind, and there are other people that have the same perception you have. Think about those people who believe that the earth is flat, that it's not round. It's easy to understand then how misperception can easily take root. So it's this reality that marketing and PR must really work with and pay attention to, because understanding how these perceptions are formed is super important. And because then we can really find other ways to talk about a product and not hit a wall every time we want to talk about something. And well, yeah, we have the impression that the facts, the truth are in our favor. But remember the damage of the fake news. Remember what it did was terrible for the journalist profession and many major North American newspaper and very credible journalists. So fake news did incredible damages. And the impact of the statements of a certain American president who didn't bother too much with the truth. Every time he was saying something, many people believe it was the truth because he was saying it. So changing perception, as you can imagine, can be a huge task. And in my opinion, sometimes really it's a lost battle. Because when consumers assume that what they have read is the truth, oh my God, it can become extremely difficult to change. The truth becomes real for them. What they've read, even if it's a fake news, they think it's the truth. And it's almost impossible to change. But, there are ways to do that and work differently with it. So if you want to talk about it, and if you want my take on what you're doing and what's the perception about your product, if you have a battle similar to that, I'll be happy to hear your story and tell you how I can help you. So please book a free consultation. There's a link below. So I hope I'm making you think about what's happening in your own business with these podcasts. And today we were talking about the law number 5, the law of perception. So voila, I hope you'll be there next week. You'll be joining me. À la semaine prochaine. Hey, you want to learn more about how to implement PR strategies? Head on to natapr.com and get on our list. You will also receive the Nata PR model on how to create a successful PR campaign. If you want to become a client, just send us an email to nata@natapr.com. Talk to you next week. À la semaine prochaine.